learn with us on Bass University Live. Bass University Live starts now. Welcome to Bass U Live. Hang out with us, Riz, and you will catch more bass.
Yes.
Automatic. We're psyched. We just had a little pre-show with our boy. Looking forward to talking to Bryan. Schmitt is going to be with us today.
Yeah.
We've got a big release with Bryan on Bass University this week or coming up, and we got the Classic on the forefront. We've got a lot going on in the fishing world. If you're going to be at the Classic, make sure you come by and see us. We are going to be down at the Bassmaster Classic, and we'd love to see you, hear you guys, hear how your fishing's going and how Bass University is treating you and helping you. Come by and see us. Make sure you do that. Yeah. And if you have not downloaded the Bass U app, do it. Do it now. Stop what you're doing. We'll wait. Go ahead and get downloaded. Download onto your Android, your iOS. If you have Roku, people are starting to discover us over there, Riz.
Yeah.
We're seeing more and more people watching on their Roku devices and signing up over there, as well as Amazon Fire TV. You can get all your learning done in the comfort of your living room, and as well as on your mobile device. So make sure you get all that done. I'm sorry.
Do you use Roku?
Oh man, I live on my Roku. I'm all Roku these days. Yep. I cut the cable. So
it's a great it's a great way to get to the platform fast, you know. Like you can get to the whole Bass University library with that remote. Ding 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 ding. Pretty darn easy.
It is. It's all right there for you guys. Everybody likes it. You know, Roku is been requested from us for years and years, so we're glad to be able to deliver.
Absolutely.
And you, Riz, you're out there catching stripers, you're out there catching bass, you're wearing your whitewater cold weather gear, and I've been in the wrestling gymnasium watching the districts and all that stuff. I'm a little upset. You're out fishing and I haven't been out yet.
Well, hey, first of all, shout out to Jake, your son, because he was wrestling in districts at the varsity level this year, had 18 wins on the year.
Yes, sir.
So that was a good Pete, for reasons to be able to not be on the water. That was a good one. But yeah, the whitewater gear, man, it continues to impress me. Just continues to impress me because I'm getting to use different applications for all the, for the items that they have provided us with to try out. And they all have a different application. Like most recently, I've been wearing the thermocline down jacket because it's just so lightweight, and you can put it over anything and it really creates a nice, insulation. And so that I'm enjoying that one a lot. But yeah, the fishing was decent, Pete. We got on some big rockfish on Saturday, several in that 20 to 40 pound range, having fun, throwing a jerk plug on them, shallow water. So that was fun. And then, got to do some bassing for a few hours on Sunday evening, and kind of took some parallels from what we were doing on the rockfish and, plugged it into the bass and made some minor adjustments in zones, but same deal. So.
Nice. That's what's the story on the we're talking about the Chesapeake guys. What's the story on the stripers? Don't they close that season? Is that open for a while or what?
It just closed as of Sunday. It closed from the Twin Rocks in the Susquehanna and up to the dam. So that's where they have it closed off for the the major spawning ground, I guess. Bryan could talk. He would be able to help us with this, but it's still open, catch and release only up until April 1st on the Susquehanna Flats. And God, I hope that's the case, because if not, I just incriminated myself. So
we may have just outed you live on the podcast. I hope not.
I was fishing the rockfish on Saturday, which would have been the last day regardless. So we're good people. Yeah, we got to do some fishing over the weekend, which is good. But you think we're ready? Should we bring Bryan in?
Yeah, just before we do, real quick, shout out to Coach. Good to have you with us, Michael from Arizona. I know you guys aren't dealing with ice down there. Nick's with us. What's up, Scott? Good to have you guys hanging out with us. But yeah, let's bring in the man, the River Master, the title River Guru. Hey, how are you, man?
Guys, I'm doing good, man. I'm always in a good mood talking with you guys. You know, like-minded with the rivers and the tidal waters, and you know, thank you for always having me. I'm in a good mood, good frame of mind, ready to go to the Classic.
Yes, yeah. Speaking, is the Classic a river, Bryan? That's one of those lakes that's it's on the Tennessee River. Is that more of a river? Is that a lake? What is that?
Without incriminating myself, it's called the Tennessee River. I mean, it's Fort Loudon and Tellico. There is lake portions, but we'll be attacking the river. We're going to make it a river, if you know what I mean. So that's how we're going to go about everything there. But it has some dynamic river portions, man. You know, that are kind of traditional river deals, and you know, looking forward to next week, big time.
Well, man, you finished third there, and
second.
That was an amazing finish at the Classic. I mean, you know, the smallmouth, I guess, got it done in that situation. Did you what did you learn, and what would you have done different in that third place finish, or do different this time out without giving your game plan away? I guess I'm asking you to give your game plan away, Bryan. I don't mean to.
Oh man, when's this air? No, I'm kidding. So the bottom line is, man, I got very fortunate that some things came my way with the largemouth. I dabble with the smallmouth in that practice, and for me, it felt like it was going to fish very small, and I also felt like Gussie put that on the map a couple years prior.
Yeah,
and I'm kind of old school where it's like, dude, even though that's the recipe to win, and this is a winner take all kind of event, I felt like, dude, I just can't be that one that's imitating Gussie, because I never would have done it if Gussie didn't show us all. So once I realized that was like the only really at that time deal for the smallmouth, I went all in on the largemouth, and I didn't do a lot of catching in practice, right? Like I did a lot of looking for what I wanted to see, and it lined up, man. You know, unfortunately, I came real close in that event. When we left that final day, Gussie had it won. We were joking. It's a second. We're fishing for second. Whoever could get second, that's going to be a win now in your mind. Mm-hmm. And he only had two. And to be honest with you, the second day, my key zone got really dirty. So this is a big deal for this place. It can get clean and dirty very quick. They will suck the bottom out. So the mud gets moved around quick. And I wrote a deal off because, like, when I had to go to weigh in on the second day, it was rolling mud. Like, not just mud, it was current in mud. I'm like, it's done. So late day 3, I got back in that zone with like an hour to go, and it had cleaned, and I caught a couple key fish, and just, dude, like, honest to God, one more stop, maybe it's a different story. So unfortunately, everything I did's on live. Everything else did's on live. This event's going to be a lot different. Supposedly there's some really big fish being caught there, like some 10-pounders now. So it's going to be a different event.
Right. Gotcha. And just to clarify, guys, Bryan came in second place in that Classic. I gave Pete bad info there, so that's my bad, B. My bad. We knew you had an amazing Classic though, and you know that's part of the reason why we wanted to talk to you again. Yeah. So you mentioned something early on there that it had that body of water has some tendencies to fish more like a river. Is that like a habitat thing, or is that like a current flow situation, or like what, what's the tie in there?
I believe it's because it's such a narrow deal in nature.
Oh, okay.
And there's so many choke down points and shallow
Mm.
bays that have culverts, and the biggest caveat is they don't let that lake get up to normal or summer pool till sometime in April. So, dude, you could get this huge influx of rain, and it's so kind of like it's mountains there, so everything flows in real quick, and you get this huge amount of water that comes in, and then they pull it. So I don't know, I don't know the exact science, but there is a science there if you can figure out that kind of deal where they're pulling it down, and you could get wet real quick if you could dial that in.
Man, that would be tremendous to be able to know that. That's the beauty of the tides, right? Because we can set our watch by it, take the wind out of the scenario, and even then we can predict what's going to happen. And it just depends on what the dam generation schedule. It can change. You never know what it's going to be. And that's a hard thing to predict and deal with. So you can appreciate what you went through last year. And you learned a lot. Wild Bill, what's up, Wild Bill? Good to have you with us. I didn't realize this. They dropped the smallmouth limit to 15 inches for the Classic. Is that true?
Yes, sir. So all species, I believe, for us is going to be 15-inch. So
wow.
That's another big game changer, man. The amount of 17 to 17.5-inch smallmouth that guys were throwing back last year that weighed 3 pounds, or last time that weighed 3.25 pounds. Are we going to say everybody's going to have 15 to 17 pounds now? I don't know. It was super, super cold when Gussie did that. I think the smallmouth were very confined. Big warming trend now. I don't know. So it changes everything, man. For sure. If you could figure out how to catch you 15, 16 pounds of smallmouth every day pretty quick, and then chase the bigger largemouth,
could be a deal.
Could be a deal.
Yeah, it could be a big deal. Well, I remember, I watched that show a number of times. Speaking of Roku, Riz, the Bassmaster is on Roku, and I'm always catching the reruns of the Classic, in which they've showed a bunch of times. Smitty, they've showed you in that event, but yeah, the smallmouth. How many of those 16-inch, 15-inch smallmouth that they had to release that were solid fish? They're all in play this year. So, but that being said, Smitty, you're old school. I respect that. I love that about you. I feel like I'm that way too. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of old school guys given that same kind of courtesy on those smallmouth in this tournament.
That's a fact. and Pete, you already know where I'm at. Mentally, I'm using that as an advantage, right? I'm already feeling like they might cannibalize each other, right?
Right.
So, hopefully you got this plan, you know what I'm saying? I don't think Gussie's not there. Unfortunately, Gussie didn't make it. So does that make it to where it's free game? Absolutely. And I'm hoping that just everybody cannibalizes each other on that. But these guys are so good, man. There's gonna be spots and deals developed in this Classic that I think is gonna blow all of our eyes, our minds. Like, wow, these kind of fish are really in there, in places or styles that we didn't see last time the Classic was there. I think that the talent of guys that are in this Classic with forward facing is just going to be mind blowing. And, you're really going to have some magical stuff on this to do well.
Well, you're good at that. You're good at finding those little tiny angles, those little deals that are special. That's a Smitty thing for sure. Derek Hudnall, Smitty is the man. And we agree. What's up, Derek? And we got a lot of people hanging out with us today. Very cool to have you guys with us. The back to the current. When they open it up, it rips and it gets muddy, and then it clears up. I couldn't believe you said that. It cleared up same day.
Yeah, did you just say Derek Hudnall?
I did.
What's up, Derek? I love you, buddy. But yeah, man, it's a big deal, Pete. The way they move the water around in there. Like I said, I think because she's so narrow, the mud can get pulled fast. And because they don't want the water to get up high, so they want to keep it down. So there's a lot of back of the creek kind of flatty deals that I think all the mountains run into, and it gets, all the rainfall, and then you might have that initial dirty water in the back somewhere, and then, dude, in 6 hours it could be at the mouth of the creek or a mile down the river. Like they pull it. So, without really shooting myself in the foot here, those are kind of things I learned a little bit of the hard way when we were there last time, and I hope to apply it and maybe get lucky where the situation helps in this event.
Has Riz and I were just talking about the Susquehanna, and it's raging a little bit. It's going to rage a lot once we get into the snowmelt scenario. Is snowmelt and spring runoff is that a factor going on down there? Are you monitoring that?
I've been watching the weather like a hawk. I just don't know where the snow, like if there's somewhere where it comes into Tellico, at the top of Tellico, maybe from some mountains towards North Carolina, if they have some snow runoff. But there's a lot of kind of rainy days in forecast, you guys. There's chance of rain almost every day, and depending where it drops, and how much. That's kind of what I'm watching pretty hard.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's part, with a river system, man, the rain influx is key, especially if it's localized like that. It's gonna put some pressure on that current and that generation schedule. But you're the man for that. You're the best in the world at it, brother. So we look forward to getting that lesson when this tournament's over.
We will see. I appreciate it, though.
But that's very cool. So you're leaving for the Classic, and man, that's we're all excited about it. We're going to be down there, and we hope we only get to watch you on TV, Bryan, but we will be at the Bass U booth, hanging out, talking to anybody who wants to come by and see us. So make sure you guys do that. But you are a river guy, and Riz, we put some work. We love when Bryan teaches us about river fishing, and we got one coming up.
Yeah, we're releasing Bryan's seminar this coming Thursday on river fishing strategies and understanding current. We've been talking a lot about the Classic, but you have some more river style events coming up throughout the year, Bryan. Is there one in particular that you're most excited for?
Two for sure, and because they're new to me.
Yeah.
The next two events is the Tom Bigby River and the Arkansas River. I've never, fished before. I did go look at the Tom Bigby for a day and a half. I didn't get out to the Arkansas River, unfortunately, but anytime somewhere fresh, man, it's really, really intriguing to me. And both being rivers, man, I'm very, very excited about those. The Albemarle Sound, to be able to go back there last year, I slipped on that a little bit. Just felt like, this is my region. I'm gonna go down there and kick butt. And I kind of chickened out on a run the second day that I'll regret for a while. But I will put some time in for that, and will make up for last year's performance on that fishery. So those three right there, very excited about, and really excited about Champlain this year. It's going to be an event. You know, I love Garmin Live Scope, man. I use it every day, every which way I can. But we cannot use any live sonar in that event, and I'm wondering, you know, how that's going to shake out. I'm kind of excited about that event.
Speaking on the Albemarle Sound, Brian, what's the deal there? Does it have a tide? Does it have like a significant tide? Because like I got kind of mixed reports on that.
In my opinion, so like, dude, I was there like 15 years ago for a BFL regional, but I thought, man, like, I know it, you know, I didn't know it, you know. I just thought it was tidal. I'm gonna go down there. I don't think it's tidal. In my opinion, I'm not giving it a tidal card. I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna give it. It's a lake. It's a sound that is controlled by wind direction. That's what I'm not giving her a title card. Seriously. So that being said, that changed the dynamic, but the habitat and what you need to find still, I think, fits a river, right?
Mm-hmm.
That mindset. But I'm giving her, she don't get a title card in my opinion. Now there's probably guys watching, they're gonna fight me and, you know, disagree, but
I'm trying to wrap my head around why, because essentially it is connected to the ocean, right?
It is, and dude, it's so close to it too, where you would think it would be like a crazy tide, but it's not. I think
completely blocked off.
It just has that one or two small little gaps where all that water has to go to the ocean, man. And like I said, I think it's just wind driven. It's such a big amount of water that you can see a foot to a foot and a half change from wind, right?
Right.
But I don't think you're seeing a foot or a foot and a half change off of flat calm weather and a tide change. I don't think you're seeing that. Maybe an inch or two, but it's still a river, and it's still kind of like what we like to do. All three of us, I know we like that kind of style, and I think that place is so big, and I think, you know, there is gold to be found there that possibly doesn't get fished on much. I think Mother Nature protects her. Now Kyle blew it out the water, dominated,
crazy,
like crazy. But I want to say, dude, I feel like there's incredible fishing throughout that whole system, and I think there's going to be a lot of really cool things that happen this year when we go there in June.
Yeah, it'll be a different time of year, warmer conditions. It'll probably spread things out a lot more. Be very, very, very interesting. But yeah, I remember I remember watching that broadcast. Like, well, the tide's supposed to be going out, but it's coming up, or vice versa. The guys were scratching their heads trying to figure out what in the world the water was doing. But yeah, that's interesting.
I got a question.
Title card. No title card for you guys.
That's no card. You don't get it. I got a question here from Reservoir Runner. Brian, have you ever fished any of the Baltimore Metro reservoirs? Loch Raven, Liberty, or Pretty Boy?
I know I fished Rocky Gorge and Triadelphia reservoirs years ago, but the other ones you named, I wasn't able to ever make it to. But Rocky Gorge several times.
They're nice. They're those trolling motor reservoirs, right? Where the guys have those mega battery banks in their boats that weigh like 10,000 pounds.
Yes, sir. Trolling motor only, man. And you know, I remember going to those years ago, and they have some good fish in them, man. Like it was.
Yeah. They grow them.
They grow them.
There's Lake Anna. There's a whole swallow of guys from Lake Anna that also fish those reservoirs, and 10-pounders. So leave it at that without burning it down too hard. Charge the batteries.
Yeah, it's crazy for you guys that never seen those kind of boats. It's like the whole boat is a battery bank. It's like the whole floor of the boat is batteries, and they have these.
$60,000 worth apparently.
Yep, they have these electric motors, and they push giant boat waves with those boats, but they can travel the distances they need to be to fish those reservoirs. Very, very cool places to fish. But Wild Bill says, Bryan, you're his pick. You're our pick. Should be our pick to win Champlain with no scope. You are the hands down favorite with no scope. What do you think?
I'm anytime I see that lake on the schedule, I think about it tremendous amount. Okay. Now I want to say, I think the first time I ever went there was 2011. And since then I've been in love with it. I was fortunate to fish it many events pre forward facing. And I'm hoping some of that, experience can help. So, there's some, I appreciate the support. Bottom line, I want to say thank you to everybody that's, rooting for me on that. I'm going to do my job up there. I'm going to definitely try to make a run at that one for sure.
Well, I will be picking. I got to take a minute on the fantasy fishing, Bryan. I had a perfect score, near perfect score. I had the top score in fantasy fishing. I tied. There was 12 of us that tied for the highest score in the Bassmasters fantasy fishing on the last tournament down there at Lake Martin. And so yeah, that was by far the best. Well, that's the best probably I'll ever do ever again. But I am picking Bryan Schmitt in, definitely on my fantasy team for Champlain. But I think I'm going to be, the problem there is I think everybody in the country is going to be picking you too.
Oh man, I don't know about that, Pete. And I know you know that lake very, very well too, man. So I appreciate you, picking me for sure.
Smallmouth has dominated. Largemouth got to be a factor this year with no scope. What are you thinking?
Yeah, for sure, man. I think you're on par there. I what I'm concerned is the population of largemouth of a good amount to sustain, 100 guys, dabbling with them now compared to the last several events where there are very few guys even trying to catch a largemouth.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see. There's some ways. There's some ways to go about it. There's gonna be a lot of plans that have to go right on that. So we're gonna see. You know what I mean.
Yeah, that's it. That'd be a fun tournament to fish. I'd love to play in that largemouth fest that I think could be a factor.
Could be. Yes, sir. It could be.
Yep. Shout out to Epic Eric joining us. He's got some experience on Liberty in the 70s. You're letting us know. He was born back in the 1800s along with me. Eric, me and Eric are the old guys, but yeah, that's it's good to have you hanging out with us. Derek Hudnall wants you to tell us about your most sketchy boat run. Maybe he's got a note here. Sabine River might be the one. Tell us a story, Bryan. What's he talking about?
The Sabine. Golly, hold on now. There's
sketchy. It's hard to pick one, right?
I'm trying to get this one on the Sabine. The Sabine. He's got to give me a little more help because I got several.
I will tell you and I talked about it on the last show. One of the sketchiest thing I ever did in a bass boat was at Buffalo, Lake Erie in Buffalo, where they had 12-foot waves when you left the harbor. They let us go in the tournament, Bryan, and you take off, you go through the causeway, and you're staring at 12-foot waves. And I ran through those for about 15 miles. That's the sketchiest thing I've ever done in a bass boat.
And I've heard that sector, and I heard that's the worst there is, for fishing. But I do remember now what Derek's talking about. So we're on the Sabine in practice, okay? And Derek, man, guys, look, he's from Louisiana. He's a riverhead. And me and him had the same mentality, trying to find something off the wall. And we were practicing, and we ran into each other in the same in this zone. And we kind of like, what are you doing over here? What are you doing over here? But we both had the same mindset. And I chickened out about 3 times trying to run into this place. Okay. And it looked like, guys, you had to run a long ways on pad, jack plate trimmed up, not let off. If you let off, you're probably going to sit on bottom to access a possible deeper pond that's hard to get to. So, that's a gold mine. In your mind, you got to get there. So Derek rolled, we met and we started talking. I said, dude, you look on Google Earth, you want to try to do this? And he's like, I think he said he was looking at it too on Google Earth. And he was like, dude, let's try it. So he decided,
partner in crime
first. He did it first. He ran. Okay. And he did it. And he came back and got me, and he said, dude, follow me. Don't let off my prop, and do not stop until I stop. And dude, we ran the whole way across this lake. You're kicking up mud. If you stop, you're done. I don't even know how you would get out of it, but we both got in there, and guys, it was nothing but gators and no bass and gar. But we did it. And dude, I bet you to this day, Derek probably is the same thing, like the hair on the back of your neck staying up. You're so nervous, dude. You're so far back in the, no man's land. If it went wrong, you're going to be there a long, long time. So that was pretty crazy. I'll tell you that.
Nothing but gators and gar.
Oh, man.
Dude, it was beautiful. The water cleaned up. It had some grass. It had the habitat. Nothing. Terrible.
Well, it's so scary.
Why
it's so scary looking at that expanse of water, and like you're looking at it and you're like, I don't know if I can make it. I might be calling an airboat. I might break my boat. I don't know. There's just so many scary unknowns. And I'm thinking to myself, I've been in that situation, and I've gotten out and walked, and I've tried to walk it and try to find the deep path. But now that you mentioned all the gators in there, I don't think that'd be a wise move.
Yeah, you couldn't. I wasn't going to do it. There's gators everywhere, and it was too far to walk, guys. It was so sketch. Like, I'm telling you, I've run a lot of crazy things on rivers, as we all have. We're river guys. This was top level. Like, this was. And the biggest thing, like Derek said, like the marshes, they move around. Like, you know what I mean? Like the reeds, all that stuff can move around in those marshes. So it was like Google Earth is helping you a little bit, but it wasn't accurate.
Wasn't dead on. And I think honestly, the scariest element of that is because you really are so far back. Like even if you call for airboat, you're talking hours at the minimum, I would think.
And I'm gonna say you're right. Your minimum hours till somebody gets to you. I don't even know if they would have been able to pull. Like, I'm thinking, how does that get fixed? Like, if you, like your boat must like get hooked to a helicopter. Like, I don't think the airboat can pull you over like sand that's that water on it that much. I don't know, but it was.
Don't let off.
But our minds, and you two as well, I guarantee it. You knew there was glory in that place.
Oh yeah.
There.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
It wasn't.
That's funny. That's funny. But you got to risk it, right? And man, I've seen guys do it. I remember Randy Howe one time in a river system spent an entire practice day, and that's the other part about it is how much time you're dedicating to exploring these places during real practice time. That's a gamble because you lose a whole day. Even if you don't get stuck, you lose a whole day. And I remember Randy, he dug this rocks, getting rocks out of the way, chainsaw, just like you, getting back, and it's beautiful, clear water, no fish, and that's the gamble.
That's the gamble. It works out, I'd say maybe 5% of the time. The rest of the time's heartache, damage to your boat.
Yeah.
But the times it works out, it's a home run. You know what I'm saying? So it's just rare when it does.
Yep. Have you ever been stuck? Have you ever had to call for help?
Yeah, at Okeechobee years ago, Pete. Yeah. Bad.
What happened there?
I got stuck trying to run into Moonshine Bay.
Yeah.
In 2011, and the water was low. It was my first time there, and guys were saying you can't get into Moonshine Bay, but all this, research I did, Moonshine Bay was a good place. So in my mind, if everybody's thinking they can't get in there, if I could get in there, it'd be a home run. And I tried to run in there, buddy, and I got like a mile on this pass, but it just ran out of water. Like there was, like when you start to see the water moving and you could see the bottom, like when I let off pad, because I was forced to, my boat didn't go down. It just went. So that scenario was like 6 hours before I was able to get out of there with an airboat. The police came. They gave the guy with the airboat and me about 30 more minutes. They said, if you got 30 more minutes or the boat's going to stay here, we got to take you back in. And we finally got out. It was a terrible experience, but luckily it was only sand and it only took the paint off my skeg,
Yeah. That's great that you were able to escape. And I've never been stuck like where, I've had to be pulled off by other boats and just little bitty stuff, but I've never, I've always been, I never had a Derek Hudnall to be the guinea pig and said, you try it first.
I needed that friend. You need everybody needs that friend. And apparently Derek's the one.
He's well versed in that scenario.
Yeah.
Don't let off. Just don't let off the throttle. Whatever you do, don't stop.
He's done that many, many, many times. And
that's phenomenal.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
That's
because when you let off on the throttle, I mean you're flower pot, so that nobody wants to be there.
No.
But Potomac has got me so many times on that exact scenario. Flower pots.
Yep. The beauty of the tides are, unless you get stuck at high tide, you're just a few hours from getting unstuck.
Just a couple hours, and we're not dealing with gators. So,
yes. But speaking of that, and with making a complete left turn here, you are dealing with some sewage on the Potomac. We mentioned it in the last deal, our last show. 300 million gallons was dumped into the Potomac. That's a monster discharge, at least in my understanding. But you're the man on the Potomac, Bryan. What do you need? Do you have your barometer of what's going on down there and what you think might happen?
Yeah, so I appreciate you bringing this up, guys, and I'll use this real quick to just kind of spread the word on what's going on. It was a terrible, terrible deal. There's a ton of raw sewage, and I'm saying 300 million tons of raw sewage that we know of that went right into the Potomac River, way up north, a little above DC. So this is an unfortunate thing. Anything that goes in a toilet is part of this raw sewage. So it's not just what comes out of you. It could be chemicals, it could be other forms of bad things. So here's what we do know. Luckily, we are where we are. We're right near DC. The right people are involved, got involved, and did a lot of tests and deemed it to where they opened it back up. There was some small restrictions in DC, but the river's back open. I think there's only a order of not eating shellfish, which is like clams and oysters, for a little bit. But if you want to eat catfish, if you want to eat whatever, if it was in species, you're allowed to. You could go swimming right now if you were allowed to, which is kind of strange to me. But you would think the right tests have been made. So here's what I want to say. I've seen this in a lot of places, man. I think when you're in these kind of areas that have a lot of industrial businesses and stuff, sometimes it's cheaper for these companies to just dump illegally and pay a fine. I'm not so sure what happened with this situation. I don't know if it was a accidental incident where this huge pipe broke, or did we know it was going to break and just decide to let it go and knew that the right people would get involved. It's just unfortunate. I think this happens a lot, maybe not at this level, and it's just never known about. But unfortunately, we're not going to really know the effects of it, in my opinion, for a while. We got to wait and see. So, but as of now, if you want to go out there, you can fish. I know several guys that went fishing over the weekend and did well, and they're still breathing. So that's a good thing. But, I really, really love the river. It's unfortunate because it's like, man, like 2 years ago, I was seeing the grass really start to come back. Then something happened last winter where it took a lot away, and then something like this. I just would love to see the river get back to its full potential. But I want to say this, because of where we're at, and this became national news, and the right people did have to get involved. I want to say that they're going to discover other issues that have probably been going on for many years that will probably get addressed, which would lead to better future for the Potomac River. And that's me being optimistic.
I love to throw a little bit more optimism up there. And Timothy Gallagher is weighing in on the good fishing around DC in the 90s and 2000. Maybe the fertilizer will let that grass grow around the 95 bridge again. Wouldn't that be something else?
I didn't want to say that, but me and some of my buddies have talked about that. But dude, it feels so weird saying it, but it is. It might end up being some form of blessing down the road. Also being optimistic with that,
Also being optimistic. That's true. All I'm going to say is I had to have some septic worked on my side yard last year, and they had to clip the top of the pot off down into my side yard. Boy, my grass was green last summer in that zone. I'm just
there. You have it. Milfoil.
I'm only flushing what's coming out of me in my septic tank. I'm not dumping.
It's you, man, but not everybody's as healthy as you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I wouldn't call it a class of health. It's just I'm not dumping fentanyl in my toilet, I guess.
I love the thought of it though, man. Milfoil from coast to coast up there on the upper Potomac, man, up there around the airport again. Oh man, that would explode the river. That would be so much fun to see.
It would, and let's hope something like that happens. I really feel certain that with this happening, that it's going to be a blessing down the road, because there are going to be some issues that get addressed that I don't think would have got addressed that could lead to better habitat coming. There's probably some other issues going on as well.
Well, my experience, in watching this, the point source discharges like this, dilution will probably take care of it. I mean, there's a massive water. We're going to have a massive runoff this spring with the snow, and I think dilution will probably take care of that. The bigger issues always seem to be the stormwater runoff, which is collecting all the fertilizers and all the various factory chemicals from their facilities, and they all make their way into the watershed, and those are the harder ones to capture. The point sources are a little bit easier. The pipe busted because it was 50 years old or 70 years old. They're going to fix that. And that'll be, rectified. But that collecting all that with barriers on the river, making sure there's vegetation and buffers before that stuff runs into the river. Those are the things that are the bigger concern. But it's never fun to hear, and I'm glad to see that people are out fishing the river, and I think all things will be fine. We'll keep our eye on it for you guys though, and see what's going on down there. But that's the Potomac ties into the Chesapeake. It's way down there. I know are you running striper trips? I know Riz was out smashing on the stripers on the Upper Bay. Are you running trips this time of year, Brian?
No. So we're shut down December 10th. We don't start chasing the striper again till May 1st, depending on what they do, May 1st or May 16th. But we also been doing catfish trips the last couple of years on the Potomac. But we're changing up a little bit because of what's going on. So, we usually we've been doing that March 15th to May 15th to kind of offset our season a little bit, but we're not so sure what we're going to do about that just yet. So
come lay onto the blue cats up here for us.
I know.
Drop your pins. And there's so many.
We really thought about it, trying to get a slip and habit of grace, but with the tunnel, the 95 issue, man, it would probably be a nightmare on us. Maybe not for the parties if they're coming somewhere else, but dude, we'd be in the car too long every day. How we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Well, keep us posted, man. We'll come. I want to come down and jump in. I haven't been in your striper boat. I haven't been catfishing either. Got to come in and get involved with that. See what you got going on down there.
Yes, sir.
What's the name of the boat? Is it you running Miss Ashley?
Yep, I have the Miss Ashley, and then my father-in-law has the Loosen Up charter, the big red boat. All bookings and namesakes underneath him. My father-in-law, he started everything. I'm just lucky to work for him. But he throws me all his overflow on my boat.
Outstanding. Well, we're going to get out and I'm going to get after them stripers. My son and I have been busy wrestling. He wrestles all winter, and we are jonesing to get out fishing. We're going to be doing that real soon. So I think we're going to be down on the Upper Bay, or if that's still frozen up top, Riz, we're going to keep going till we get to Lake Anna, but we're getting out and we're going to be doing some.
Yeah, we're going to be loose. We're going to be soft water by midweek this week, Pete. That's my prediction. I've been looking at her around anchor every morning, every night, just keeping tabs, because that first time that the lights come back on and they don't have the ice over their head, they'll be feeding on jerk baits. Just feeding.
They're feeding on those yellow perch, which stack up, this time of year.
We'll be feeding on the yellow perch. We'll be eating the yellow perch. So.
I wanted to ask you about this, and it's overwhelming in the tournaments this year, getting into a bait. The urchins, the koiks, that going to be a classic bait this year? Is that going to, the dice style of bait, is that going to be a factor? It seems like every tournament this year it's been a factor.
I would say, guys, I think it's going to formulate, into somebody's success or many guys' success. Yeah, there's something with that bait. I don't think anybody really knows what, but it's getting it done. I don't know if it's going to kind of run its course, but I have them. I'm not dumb. I'm not going to ignore the obvious. It's working, and Missile might have something, possibly dropping at the Classic too.
What?
But yeah. We won't dive into that anymore just yet, but Missile might have something. But the bottom line is, man, yeah, it's gonna be a deal for sure. It catches all species, and yeah, it's gonna you're gonna see plenty of that on live, I'm sure, at the Classic.
How much of that bait has made a play in Brian Schmidt's boat? Have you dove in heavy with it yet, or?
Yeah, so last year at St. Clair, I think I was in four
Okay.
day one. That whole event was that bait.
Yeah. What about on the largemouth side of things?
So I think I've caught a few. I just don't feel I applied it when the scenario was available.
Right.
You know, just yet.
Gotcha. Well, we'll be interested to hear about it when you do, and especially if Missile and Johnny's got a bait coming out. That's exciting to hear.
Yes, sir.
Always good to hear that there's something new coming out and it's from the homies.
Yep, I'm a little bit more broke from investing in some of these tackle. $20 a pop, man.
Is Jake on top of him, Pete?
Jake? Oh
Yeah.
man. Oh, are you kidding me? He's the biggest tackle junkie I ever met. I mean, which makes me the biggest tackle junkie on the planet because somebody's got to fund this operation. But yeah, when we were down at Lake Martin in the fall fishing, and yeah, we got exposed to it, that style down there, and the thing that and we've heard this from guys on the show, and it's body of water specific. It's odd that way. It seems to be odd that way that like some lakes with lakes with grass in it doesn't play as big a role as lakes that are without grass. Pressured fish, right? We heard that, Riz, right? Pressured fish they respond to this technique more effectively than non-pressured fish. It's weird, it's interesting to think about, Smitty. So and I don't know what you've learned, but yeah, it's an interesting tool. It seems to when it's working, it's like the only thing to be throwing, and when it's not, you got to put it down. You can say that pretty much about everything.
You can, and I think it's definitely situational for sure. But it's almost at that point where you have to figure out a way you can apply it at each fish.
Right.
That's how successful it is.
Right.
If that makes sense. Like for right now, it's something's crazy with that thing. But
yeah. Ultimately, like anytime you realize like they will bite this bait, like then it's like, okay, how many different ways can we rig it? How many different ways can we weight it? How many different, it's like it's exciting. It's an exciting time to try to learn a little bit about it.
Yeah, I was at St. Clair last year, man, and found plenty of fish on my lot, with live scope, and I was throwing everything at it. And truthfully, Cruz, we took a micro D-bomb and put some skirt material in it, and that was like, we were like, dude, we got this trick up our sleeve. We were getting 3 or 4 out of 10 to bite, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
But if you didn't have fuzz on anything, you're 1 out of 10 or worse. Like you would throw at them, they'd swim away. And my buddy Bryan called me, and this thing was like, try this real quick. And I tried the Koike, and it seemed like it was pretty good, where they were so much more aggressive. So I was like, wow, you go 2.5 days of seeing how they wouldn't react that well to seeing them react and bite. It was like, there's something to this, but it was so fresh to me. It was like, I couldn't really go all in on it at first, but it's a thing.
Yeah. Shout out to Bryan New. He identifies as the first white man in America with a Koike to never catch a fish on it. So shout out to his words, not mine. So.
it's an interesting bay. It's really done some spectacular things, and it's relatively new to most people, but it's been out for a year, maybe two, and the guys that are ahead of that curve, as usual, are getting it done. But you're a Garmin guy. The electronics craze is continuing. Is there anything new? Is there anything coming out with Garmin this year?
So we're gonna see you guys at the Classic, and things are looking really good for the Classic, man.
So the spend's gonna be on. The ante's about to get upped.
Looking very good, man. Everything's looking really, really good.
It seems like you may have had to sign a few NDAs before you came on this podcast, Bryan.
Yep. Everything's looking good.
Looking good, and hopefully you're looking good. What would winning the Classic mean to Bryan Schmitt?
That's it. That's where we're at, Pete. That's my number one goal, is to make it to the Classic and to hopefully one day have an opportunity to win one. That's my number one goal out of everything going forward. So it's been that way since I got second last time we were there. It's like I went out that third day feeling like I'm fishing for second, and I was going to be super satisfied if I got second. To when I got back and I was allowed to see Bass Track and said, "Oh my goodness, Gussie has two." To have this emotional roller coaster of there's a chance.
Yeah.
And come close, come very, very close to it. It really drove, like, it's something like I really, really want it, man. But, dude, it might not happen. That's a hard, it's honest to God, so hard to get there. So many stars got to line up, man, to win any event. So, but that's my goal. That's what I want to do, man. It would mean the world to me personally. For my, my mindset and everything, and obviously for my family as well. So that's where.
Well, you came
Has it always been that way stacked for you, Bryan? Like Classic's number one, AOI is number two. Like you put more value on the Classic for yourself personally?
I'm more of a realist. Like, so, like I won a points in a BFL trail, won one in the opens when I qualified for the elites. But that opens was 4 divisions in my wheelhouse, or 4 tournaments in my wheelhouse, and I won it. To me, the win angler year against these guys, man, it might be a long shot, but I think I finished 8th one time in points and like 8th another time on FLW. That's good for me.
Yeah.
But the Classic it's obtainable.
You say, you feel like you can grab it. You feel like
grab that. I can grab it for sure. And AOI. Whew,
yeah. I mean, Bryan, we've had you on so many times, and like, it's one of the things, like, when we brag on you, or when I brag on you and Pete brags on you, it's like Bryan has always had an amazing ability to win. Like when you smell that blood in the water, or like you get that feeling that it's possible, like, boy, you've stacked them up, dude. You've absolutely stacked them up. So thanks for clarifying that on like where your mindset was on that. Cause that's an important thing to consider, like Did
you think
there's something there?
I want to follow up that, because mindset is something we're studying all the time in competition now. And do you think you made an error, or do you look to yourself on the last day of the Classic thinking, man, there's no way I can win this tournament? Do you think you would like to change that if you had a do-over?
No, I'm at peace with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 2 quick things. I do want to say this. obviously I'm a realist and AOI is a long shot, but believe me, I would love to have it. I'm a competitor, but
Yeah.
to me, it's a long shot for me. But I have to almost have this mindset of chasing angler of the year just for me to make the classic. Just to make the classic, it's
Mm.
so hard. So I put that goal high. Every point matters. But the classic to me is obtainable because it's a 3-day event. It's
Right.
50 some guys, but that classic, Pete. What blew my mind, guys, is day one, my waters were very clear and had been all week of practice. Day two started off, they were clear, and then towards the end of the day, it was rolling mud. It to me was this fresh influx. So we're all the same. Like, dude, that means you're done for days where we come from.
Yep.
Dude, I wrote this sector off, and I had an hour when I just Hail Mary. I got back in there like late that third day. Just I had a small limit.
Right.
It cleaned, man, and it was, dude. It was every stop. I needed one more stop, man, and
Yeah.
that's the only unfortunate part. Like if I knew that if I was from there, there's no doubt in my mind I would have spent 4 hours in that zone instead of one, and maybe, but dude, Gussie won, bro. Like, here's the deal. He was able to do what he did several years ago in the elites, come back and do it again. Dude, that you know what I'm saying? Like, he deserved it, bro. In my
Yeah.
opinion, he deserved that crown because everybody knew exactly where he did it.
Oh yeah.
And he did it again. So me just being a competitor, I'm like, I needed one more. Dude, Gussie catches one more fish. It's ball game no matter what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So it just all it did was made me realize, dude, I could possibly win one of these. That's all it did in my
Good.
mind.
It's not good. You can. And you have done. You've won Elite Series tournaments. You got to beat 100 there. You only got to beat 50 over here, Bubba.
Yes,
So
sir. But you got to be. That's the mindset I have. You have to make it to have the shot, and you have to make the cut to have a shot the third day. So that you can't go out there like, dude, I'm a swing for it if I get 5 bites, because you might not get them and you might not have the shot to make the third day. So it's a different little process too. But
I've said this before. You're a killer. You close and you win tournaments at an alarming rate, and a lot of guys can't. Like that's one of the things that separates you is that. So take me to your last day of tournaments. When you're going into a tournament where you have a chance to win, a lot of guys fold. A lot of guys make bad decisions or errors, and don't get that win nowhere near as much as you do. What do you think your mindset is going into those final days when you're within striking distance or you have the lead to be able to try to get that trophy?
I think there's several things that have happened over the years. A couple times things were coming to me later in the event that really helps. That's the biggest thing. Then there's other times where they were going away, and just the mindset of bullheadedness, like, this is the final day. You have one day to win this tournament. You got to get it done. Everything's tip top. I don't know what it is. It's been pretty good for me, man. Like, when I've had shots to win, I usually try to close it. And I can't really put my finger on it. The last year at the Mississippi River, guys, like, dude, I was there 2 other times and won both. And I went into the third day this past year. I thought I was going to win that event because the first 2 days went magical. Like, something developed good for me, right? Like a cadence. And I'm like, dude, this is awesome. Well, late the second day, I found another area that was loaded. And I'm like, I got 2 spots. Like I felt like I was going to win it, but it didn't work out. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. So that was one that kind of went the other way, man. I ended up finishing 4th, but I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. I've been very, very fortunate. I want to put a little emphasis on, honest to God, my father-in-law. I worked for him since like 99, 2000, and he's really top level at what he does with the charter boat and everything. He's got a process to everything, man. And he's very strict regimen on how he goes about things. And he wants everything done the right way and maximize everything. And he could be hard on you at the same time. And I think he drilled that on me for so long that kind of rides true with me when you have opportunity like that. You got to take advantage of it type thing. And that's honestly, you control all you can control and have this mindset of no mistakes and everything. And I don't know. I'm rambling. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I'm lucky. That's it.
Hey, everybody should have a little luck, and luck is something that comes to guys that are prepared. And I love the controllables. You control what you can control. That is such a great thing, a great mindset to have when you're under the gun, you're under the pressure, you got a chance to win. You can't control a lot of that stuff. You can't control how people feel or what they say, but you can control a lot, making sure all your ducks are in a row, like your father-in-law taught you. That's great advice for anybody.
Just like you can check the tide chart and you can check the weather. That's why we love it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got a launching point. There's a tide, boys.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, I'm excited. You're leaving soon for the Classic. I know everybody loves you at Bass U, and we're excited to see you take another stab at this one. See if largemouth can beat the smallies. See if what you can use what you learned from last time. It's going to be exciting to watch.
It is, man. This is a dynamic one. I think it's not just a steady Eddie. We run at a mill. I think conditions could change so much here, and it's giant too, man. You got 2 lakes. Like you could go get lost. Like you could go fish a Classic and never see a boat. It's kind of cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm excited. And that's something I haven't lost, man. Like I get the jitters, like. Just that hunt, like you're getting ready to go hunt this deal. And I don't know. I appreciate you guys. We're going to give it all we got down there. We're going to be ready. Need a little bit of good fortune, bro. You know how it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I hope it comes your way. We'll be watching. I appreciate you hanging out with us this morning, taking a little time out of your Classic prep, and we'll catch up real soon, buddy.
Yeah, we'll see you at Media Day.
We'll see you there. Yep. Guys, always for having me, man.
Thanks for being part of Bass U. Really do appreciate all that you give to Bass U and wish you best of luck. Bryan Schmitt, everybody. Super champion, likely going to be the Classic winner sometime soon. Certainly going to be a high pick for everybody this year, Riz.
Sometime soon. And what we know about Bryan is he's not going to leave any stone unturned or not be prepared for that tournament. And at that point, you've done what you can do. Control the controllables, go fish, give it everything you got, so
that's it. Strong mindset. Yeah. Guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break and we're going to be right back.
Yes, we are.
We're off the clock to clock more fish, to fill our live wells and empty our coolers, because there's more to explore. The latest Humminbird fish finders work fast, see clearly, and know all the best spots. They fish even smarter paired with the Minn Kota and break down the water like never before. If you like your plans loose and lines tight, then it's time to explore. Only with Humminbird. Get right to the fight. New Mega Live 2 forward-facing sonar puts you on more fish with an ultra-clear, rock-solid picture of underwater action. Next-gen clarity, next-level fun. Only with Humminbird.
Whitewater Fishing Gear. We build gear for the days that test your commitment. The ones launching before daylight, staying out when the wind picks up, and fishing through conditions most guys avoid. Engineered for protection, mobility, and all-day comfort. Built to perform when conditions turn rough, so you stay focused on the pursuit no matter how the elements shift. Whitewater Fishing Gear. Built to brave the waves.
When the sun's up and the bite's on, clarity is everything. That's why serious anglers trust Redfin. Built for the water, designed for performance. Lightweight frames, crystal clear optics, and rugged durability that stands up to long days on the water. Thanks to Zeiss Repel technology, water, oil, and even sunscreen just slides right off the lenses. Your vision stays crystal clear. See more, fish smarter, and protect your eyes with Redfin. Redfin polarized sunglasses. Comfort, clarity, contrast.
Mother Nature may be tough. I'm tougher. I'll take you where chaos is the cost of entry and where the fish are worth the fight. Because the bigger the question marks, the better the quest.
Welcome back, everybody. Hanging out with us at Bash U Live. Go. Good to have you hanging out with us, buddy. Everybody's getting ready to go fishing.
There was a couple questions or comments in there that we didn't see because we were enthralled with Bryan, but I want to make sure we hit on them. Matt Weimer asked, is that going to be a factor at the Upper Bay? I believe he's talking about the Koik there. Could be, Bryan. I mean, not much exploration has been done yet with it, but we're gonna see about it. And A. Higgins, if I was a betting woman, I'd say Schmitt is going to be throwing a Megabass Vision 110. Okay, maybe she knows a thing or two. Not sure who it is, but Matt Weimer, electronics. We talked about that, and Jim G. This was a good one. Wish we would have got this one into him. But I'm a river guy, and what I've learned is when you find a key spot on a river, now you know what to look for as to duplicate the pattern. Only a true river angler can do that. Do you feel the same way? Pete, why don't you take that one? Duplicating patterns on a river, and if you're a true river angler, and you got to be able to do it, right?
Yeah, there's no question. I think a river is very patternable in most situations. There's no doubt. It positions fish in a predictable way. And if you've got a grass pattern going, it's going to apply at a variety of places. I think you're absolutely right. It's definitely pattern fishing on a river is amazing. One of the things I love to do is running a pattern up the tides on river systems where you're moving with the tide to fish the same type of habitat. But sounds like you are a river rat, and Jim, that's cool. I wonder what river you're fishing on.
Jim G. Lopez. Good questions. Good interaction from the message board today. So I got a couple things here, Pete. First, today's trivia chat that is just for fun is if you can guess whose boat this is, we'll shout you out on the stream. So if you can guess whose boat that is, we'll give you a shout out.
Wait a minute. Do I know where that is? I know whose it is because I'm not going to guess that. But where is that? I don't recognize that.
That was me trying to run into that little creek on the Potomac.
Pete, that was Potomac Creek.
Really loud. Okay. Yeah. a creek on the Potomac, not Potomac Creek, a creek on the Potomac.
Understood.
We're not even sure if we're fishing there. So it was pretty dumb to get flower potted on somewhere where, I don't.
Hey, that's a risk you got to take to know. So
that's the risk. And then hold on. Bass Tech sonar. That hole is shining.
I think I see fiberglass.
It was really stuck. All right, today this week's sub of the week is our boy Jordan Catala, rocking the Bass U American flag hat. Pete, we got to bring that hat back this summer.
I like it, Rich. A lot of people love that hat. Let's bring it back.
Hat back for 4th of July. Let's make that a goal for us. But yeah, Jordan Catala, nice largemouth there. I believe that's an Upper Bay fish. So anyway, shout out to Jordan.
Yeah.
I was
going to say, go ahead, Riz.
This week's release is Brandon Coulter. Brandon Coulter, it's the, what did we title it? It's the versatility of a Ned rig, but he's showcasing how you can use a Berkeley Little General in specific and rig it 3 different ways to apply it to 3 different ways to catch fish. So it's a great seminar. Dude,
it's a tremendous seminar to catch fish. You want to catch fish consistently. This technique is a powerhouse. So you're definitely going to want to dive in here. Winning tournaments it's a winner. It's a winner as well. But numbers game, it's the deal.
Oh yeah. There's no debating how effective that Little General is on not only smallmouth. It catches largemouth. It catches spots. It's a freaking smelly little morsel that they got to have it in their mouth. And then next week's seminar, because I'm not sure if we're going to be going live next week because we're all going to be in I'm going to be in travel for the Classic. But just in case we're not, the following week's seminar is Bryan Schmitt, Understanding Rivers and Current. And it's another phenomenal seminar. Bryan is the man when it comes to that. And he really dished it out this year for us in the classroom. So we're excited to roll that one out right around Classic time.
Yep. By the way, Jim, that is Riz's boat that was high and dry. Just so you know, and the river is the
chain. Okay.
Yeah, I've not fished there, Jim, but Illinois is a bass fishing mecca for huge big groups, Indiana and Illinois of bass anglers out there. So we love hanging out with all you bass heads.
Yeah.
As well as you, Bass Tech Sonar. I can't believe you're listening to a show and not fishing somewhere. Aren't you? You're like fishing every day. Maybe you're listening to us while you're fishing. That'd be good. I hope that's the case. So guys, I guess we are going to be out next week, Riz. Is that right? We are going to.
I'm going to be traveling down the highway, so I'm probably not going to be available for live. But if you want to run
I will be at the Pure Fishing event next
week.
So, yeah, me and Riz will be. We'll have a lot to talk about when we get back. Road trips and looking at the new products and crowning a new Classic champ next week. So,
correct.
So it's going to be. We'll see you in 2 weeks on Bass U Live. Look forward to that, and we look forward to a recap. So, but in the meantime, keep checking out Bass U, and this is a great time. If you're up here like us, I still see snow out my window on the ground, and we're all going to be fishing wide open soon. I know down south you guys are already there, but this is an amazing time to catch up on Bass U, learning new techniques that you can apply that will help you catch more fish. And download the app. Download it, whether you're iOS, whether you're Android, Roku, Amazon. Download the Bass U app, and you can check it out and increase your bass fish catching all year. All those fancy boat to catch fish that's rarely over 8 pounds. We got a saltwater guy hanging out with us, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, we love to catch those suckers too, man.
Yeah, catch big stuff too. Yeah, we turns out we can do both out of those fancy glittery bass boats.
Yeah, you just caught a 40-pound striper. Or
should I bring up a picture of it?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Okay. Give me just 1 second. I wasn't prepared with it, but I'm happy to show it. It was a big old giant one. Yeah, jerkbait fishing on Pete. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's hard not to keep doing it once you get on a couple of them. I know we got Jared from Bass Tech on here. He's I know he can attest to how hard it can be to stop reeling them in once you find them. Never mind, not going to work. It's not the right.
We'll visualize. We'll visualize.
It was a big one.
Yep. Now but that's we're going to get out and do some fishing. We're done in the gym for a little while. So look forward to getting out there and getting some fishing done. And we're heading to the Classic, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks right here on Bass University Live. Have a great day, everybody.